I think it's a very interesting question. It all depends, when we talk about broadcast versus OTT, there's a very easy confusion. Very often it's seen as siloed, right? So you would have broadcast that would be this transportation layer, like satellite or broadband, for example. And on the top of that, you will have the protocol, which is MPEG-TS, right? So that's one part. On the other side, you would have what we call OTT, which is seen as HTTP unicast, and on the top of that, protocols such as MPEG- and HLS, right? Now, if you look well at these, on this side, we got a problem with MPEG-TS because it's been there for a while, it's working fine, but there's no real investment in that technology anymore, and it's been a while already. And but the broadcast itself, the transportation, this is what secures the quality that's still unequaled by broadband unicast, right? Now, on the other side, MPEG- and HLS are bringing a lot of different things, but unicast raises problems in terms of distributions, how to achieve the quality that is required for different reasons. So now if you break the wall between the two, and you think, well, let's take the best, you'll get broadcast technology for the transport and MPEG- HLS on the top of it, right? And my personal thought is that broadcast in that sense is definitely not dead, right? Because for a lot of different cases that we'll all know about, that's going to be always the most efficient way to distribute video. And it doesn't matter if it's TS or dash, right? It's always the inherent advantages of broadcast will still be there, right? It's really a logical matter. Right, so that's actually probably the most important point, the most puzzling thing that is happening right now. As you say, still most of the revenue that we're getting in this industry is for live on big screen. And that's almost exclusively still managed through broadcast, right? OTT, it's, as you said, the business model is still not very clear for many people. But surprisingly, it's getting all the attention and all the investment. All the progresses are on that side. So how do we mix the two? It's actually pretty simple. As I was starting to explain, you just take what's interesting about OTT, which is MPEG- or HLS, and you put it on the top of regular broadcast means. So that would be basically, you take your satellite link, instead of putting MPEG-TS, you put MPEG- instead of it. And I think conceptually it's just as simple as that, right? And then it opens to you, through satellite, all that has been developed for OTT recently. There are a lot of good features that are developed, that have been developed, access to multi-screen, targeted advertisement, just to give a couple examples. So implementation, to give it in one sentence simply, what we're doing at Broadpeak is, so it's based on what is known as multicast ABR, but adapted to satellite. What we're doing is putting a device in the OTT headend that will pull all the content, all the live content, embed it so that it can go through satellite, and then once it reaches the home, we got a process that do the opposite operation that goes from multicast to unicast and put everything in a form that's 100% standard, HLS or dash. So from that point on, in all the home network, anyone can connect to get the stream with an iPad, with a smartphone. Everything is purely standard. And what's interesting as well, and I think that's a topic that's very promising for the future, is you have access to both, right? The end device will use MPEG- and will get the content either from satellite, if it's an important live, for example, or through broadband. It will be totally seamless. And part of the evolution that we're foreseeing is this intelligence from the player or from the receiving side at least, to pick dynamically and seamlessly between when it's best to go through satellite, when it's best to go to broadband. And they can combine themselves very well.